Hello and welcome. My name is Melvin Monin and welcome to the finale round of the Pagnian GT3 series hosted by RaceOnOz's. This is round 7 of the Pagnian GT3 series. Now let's get right into the live scenes where the guys are currently contending a 5-lap practice race for the upcoming event tonight. So here are our event details. We are racing at Catalunya GP tonight for the endurance round, round 7, the finale round. Slambo has already taken out the championship, the Drivers' Championship, but we still got the Teams Championship still yet to be decided, with Next Level Racing and Selby Acoustics both contending the Teams title tonight. And then we got a closely tight battle starting to heat up as well in this final round. So we'll show you the standings once we flick through the slides here. So we got a 10-minute qualifying, 90-minute race. So here is our weather conditions for the round tonight. So for qualifying, we've got heavy cloud. So if the guys opt to go on the soft tyre, there might be a gain out of it. Might be a slight gain. But we'll probably see a majority of the guys stick to the hard compound. As for the race, these weather slots are all synced to the race in quarters. So first we got medium cloud to start off the race. Then we got clear. So it gives the drivers a lot wider strategy play as well. We'll see more than one pit stop being made tonight in this endurance round, no doubt. So we'll go on to the next. So here's our circuit tonight. Catalunya GP, 16 corners, 4.655 kilometres in length. The hotspot turns tonight, turns 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, 13 and 16. Look for there to be a lot of overtaking opportunities made at those specific corners. But it's not limited to the whole track really, but they're the most likely corners to see overtaking manoeuvres being pulled off in a generally manner. And then predicted pole time, probably a bit too harsh, but a 142 flat. We'll probably have to ramp that up to a 143 flat at least. But that's what I predicted tonight. And here is how the championship is shaping up, with Slambo currently in Stimson and P2, who's yet to see himself on the top step of the podium. He's had 5 podiums, but none of them on the top step. His teammate in P3, Penguin, he's actually been on the top step on the podium, and he's on 81 points in P3. And we got Ghost in P4 for Ignition Controls on 58 points. And then we got Cartdo and Westy Mike, both on 54 points, those two guys. And then P9, then we got Williams and P10 on 42. So you see that midfield battle from Ghost all the way down the Stew. It's all to play for between those guys, because they are separated by 9 points from 4th to 9th. So everything to play for in regards to that part of the driver standings. We go further down, we got Stozza for Gamesman Racing Team on 38. We got Nige on 31 points. We got AO, who unfortunately won't be racing tonight, on 25 points. We got AK for Next Level Racing on 19. V8 Power Privateer wildcard entries in the previous 2 rounds. He's on 17 points, as well as Turbo on 17 points as well. You see the Teams Championship as well. Selby Acoustics leading that one with a narrow margin over Next Level Racing. And then the battle for P3 between Ignition Controls Racing and Bruce Hale Racing. Those 4 teams all fighting for the top 2 teams, Selby Acoustics and Next Level, fighting it out for the top spot of the Teams Championship. And then Ignition Controls and Bruce Hale Racing fighting it out for the final podium spot in the Teams Championship. So that is our championship scenario tonight, with Slambo closing out the drivers. So we'll get into what our entry list looks like for Selby Acoustics. We've got Westy Mike, we got Penguin, we got Turbo, and we got Stimson. All those guys are in tonight. I think Westy Mike, is he in there? No, so Westy Mike won't be joining us either. So, and then we got kart number 1 finishing out the 5-car assault for Selby Acoustics. Those guys currently leading the Teams Championship in Division 1 here for the Pagnian GT3 series hosted by RaceOnOz's. And we got Ignition Controls, we got Stu and Ghost, both driving the Bentley number 88. It's the only livery they can get close to their colours So they'll be looking for big results tonight to maintain that P3 in the Teams Championship. Then for Next Level Racing, a 3-car attack. Championship winner, Slambo, driving the 76 Porsche. And we got AK driving the Bentley. And we got Kart Dude driving the sister Porsche. For Next Level Racing, those guys got a lot of weight on their shoulders if they're to catch up that points deficit in regards to Selby Q6 at the top. For Bruce Hale Racing, we've got Benny, we got Nige, and we got Williams. Those guys fighting for P3 in the Teams Championship. So it's all to play for those guys. And for Gamesman Racing Team, those guys sitting on the bottom of the standings, but still not out of it in regards to getting 4th spot, but they need a big haul of points tonight. We got Stozza and Ao. Unfortunately, Ao won't be able to make it tonight either. So the guys have finished what was a 5-lap practice race. So we're about to tick over to the 10-minute qualifying session that will set the grid for the main event tonight, the 51-lap race. This is the endurance round, the finale round, round 7 of the Pagnian GT3 series, hosted by RaceOnOz's. So I hope you have all enjoyed the broadcast of the Sunday night of this league. It's been an absolute pleasure to be able to broadcast this league. It's been extremely close with majority of the racing so far. And for Slambo to take out the championship before the last round is an absolute credit to his determination to be maintaining his spot at the top, as he's won a few Div 1 championships in RaceOnOz's. So he's continuing his winning ways in the series. So it's good to see. And then we got very competitive podium there with Stimson and his teammate JJ Penguin, but we still got the midfield pack from 4th to 9th, all to play for tonight, separated by 9 points from 4th to 9th. That's the key battle we're looking for in the Drivers' Championship. But the key thing tonight is the Teams Championship, with Next Level Racing trying to bring back the points deficit in regards to Selby Acoustics leading the Teams Championship. So good luck to all competitors tonight. We still have P3 in the Teams Championship up for grabs as well. So the guys are about to get into this 10-minute practice session. Heavy cloud conditions to start off the round. So we're about to get into this one. So the guys are definitely going to have to pit in for fuel tonight, no doubt, because they will not be able to make it to the end on one tank of fuel. So that's why I mentioned there's definitely going to be at least more than one pit stop, no doubt. So it's really going to set strategy games all over the place. So we might see an unlikely winner tonight if it comes down to strategy play, no doubt. So the guys that have done their homework will be completely favoured in this situation tonight. In here for a 10-minute qualifying session to end the series. It's been a ripper of a series. Slambo taken out the Drivers' Championship, 1 round to spare. But we've still got the Teams Championship all to play for, and with a very good midfield Drivers' Championship from 4th to 9th. I've got to keep reiterating those scenarios because they are the key things we are watching tonight. So in terms of the battle for the Teams Championship, Slambo and his teammate in Kart Dude, those guys got to get big results for their team in Next Level Racing if they're to challenge the Selby Acoustics guys of the lead 2 guys in Stimson and Penguin. So those guys are P2 and P3 in the Drivers' Championship. And that is why they're sitting on top of the Teams Championship as well. A very big haul of points for both of them in regards to their teams. So Selby Acoustics Racing looking quite fine heading into this round. 14 cars strong. It's a very good turnout tonight for the finale round. The Endurance see the pit lane very busy. 3rd wildcard appearance. And he's been a very consistent driver since his inception for the mid-stage of this championship. So and credit his results to be able to join the guys that have got a lot more practice in comparison to him. So we're currently on board with Ghost. He's currently P4 in the championship. He's in that lead battle to maintain P4. His teammate a further 5 positions down in P9, who's also challenging him for P4 as well, and Stu. So both the ignition controls guys, no doubt they'll want to hold on to P3 in the team's championship. And those guys got a very good chance to maintain that position tonight with a big haul of points. Their closest competitors in terms of fighting for the team's championship, we got Benny, and then we got Williams lurking around somewhere. There he is. So those 2 guys challenging the likes of Ignition Controls for P3 in the championship, in the team's championship that is. But these guys also challenging for positions 4 to 9. So big weight on everyone's shoulders tonight in regards to those 2 teams. But as for the lead team championship, we got Selby Acoustics, the guys like Stimson, currently on board with him now. He's going to be looking to at least get a win tonight. He's currently P2 in the championship. He's the only driver in the top 4 not to have a race win to his name. And you want to get that monkey off his back in the finale here at Catalunya GP. His teammate, JJ Penguin, right in behind him. So those guys will be looking to work together to maximise their team's points haul tonight to be able to maintain the lead over Next Level Racing. So for Next Level Racing, we're going to keep a close eye on Slambo. He's been the pace setter in the practice race. He's the championship leader, and he's also sealed out the Drivers' Championship. So no doubt he's going to bring a big haul of points on board to Next Level Racing's team's championship hopes. So he'll be a very close driver we look upon tonight. And then his teammate, Kart Dude. So we're on board with him right now. Where is Kart Dude? He's in pit lane, so we won't be able to stay on board with him yet. But he's the second Next Level racing car that will be looking to help get the better of Selby Acoustics in the race for the team's championship. So we're currently on board with V8 Power. We've got less than 7 minutes to play in this qualifying session. So I'm not going to overhype things earlier on when it's a very long race tonight. We're just going to build up that momentum as the race goes on. But as for the qualifying session here, we're about at the mid stage as it stands. We're currently clicking under 6 minutes 30 now at Catalunya. So the guys really got to get in their banker laps to see what they're dealing with in terms of track evolution and what they're capable of getting in regards to what the track evolution is looking like. So we haven't got an indication of what the lap times are looking like yet. I'm just trying to hop on board with a driver that's close to the control line. So we'll stay on board with Ghost, and one of the Selby Acoustics cars, I reckon that's kart number 1, going across the line now. It is, and he sets a 1:45.3, but Ghost 2 temps quicker than kart number 1 with a 1:45.1. But championship leader Slambo a 1:44.4 to open his account in the finale round. So they'll be looking to maintain momentum and help Next Level Racing get team's championship victory here tonight. So it's going to be a very big talking point if he can maximise his points haul with a pole position as well as the fastest lap of the race. So that's Ghost getting a little bit tail happy on entry to turn 4 there. The Bentleys, when I was driving it in the practice race about half an hour earlier, it was a bit happy in the rear, so got to try and maintain that rear stability in the Bentleys if you're one of the Bentley drivers. So he's right on the rear bumper of kart number 1 now. So Ghost coming out the Ignition Controls garage, partnering up with Stu, 2-car assault. So Ghost is one of our championship contenders through the early stage of the championship. Unfortunately, he missed a round, so let's put him way back into 4th place at this stage. He's got it all to play for because from 4th all the way to 9th, they're separated by 9 points. So that means his position isn't set and sealed, but he cannot make up the position to get P3 in the championship. So he's just going to maintain P4 So he's going to be the best of the rest type title for him. So coming across the control line now. I don't think this is going to be any quicker than his previous lap time. It is. 1:44.6. He's only 0.2 of a second off Slambo, who goes even faster with a 1:44 flat. So the laps are getting faster and faster here at Catalunya. Now let's see who else is in the mix lurking. AK for Next Level Racing is currently sitting P4 with a 1:46 flat. What's this going to be across the line for his second attempt at a hot lap here? It's going to be faster with a 1:45.1. Puts himself up in the P4. So JJ Penguin for Selby Acoustics. Very good lap time from him, a 1:44.9. His teammate Stimson, a 1:44.9 as well. So those guys replicating each other's lap times here. And that's looking like a very good scene for the Selby Acoustics guys. P3 and P4 respectfully there. Those guys looking for a big haul of points, and they're doing so just as it stands. AK in P5, kart number 1 in P6. Stu for Ignition Controls in P7. His fastest lap, a 1:45.4. It's a very respectful lap time from him. Let's see if he can go quicker this time around. We'll go on board cockpit view. This has got a little bit of traffic to deal with one of the Selby Acoustics cars. So we're heading into the very technical mid-sector here at Catalunya. The left-hand side tyres are going to take a beating tonight. Going to try keep those tyre temps down to the absolute minimum without it having to slide everywhere around the fast right-handers, because there is a massive load on that left-hand side heading on to the main straight, especially because you want to try keep up your mid-corner speed through turn 16. It's very crucial if you're to be able to get your top-end speed towards the back end of the main straight, where a lot of overtaking manoeuvres will be made tonight. So heading into turn 16 now, which is the corner that I was elaborating on just before. It heats up the left-hand side tyres to an extent that it makes the car slide, and obviously wants to understeer and oversteer around certain corners. Unfortunately there for Stu, he's not able to improve on his fastest lap time. So Slambo's lap time of a 1:44 flat still sticks at provisional pole. It's closely followed by Ghost with a 1:44.2. We've got Stimson with a 1:44.6 for Selby Acoustics. A 1:44.8 from Penguin for Selby Acoustics as well. We've got AK for Next Level Racing in P5. A 1:44.9 is his quickest. Kart number 1 with a 1:45.3. Very good lap from him. And for Stu, a 1:45.4 still remains to be his quickest. Nige, the fastest of the Bruce Hale Racing cars, with a 1:45.5. Very good lap time from him. V8 Power, Privateer and Wildcard entry tonight. Currently sitting P9 with a 1:45.9. It's a very good time from him so far to be in the mix for a top 10. Benny for Bruce Hale Racing rounding out the top 10 here provisionally, but he's been pipped. He's been relegated back to P11. His fastest is a 1:46.7. And that was due to Stolzer moving up in the P6 for Gainsborough Racing Team. Very good qualifying performance from him so far. 1:45.2 is his quickest. We're in the closing minute of this 10-minute qualifying session here at Catalunya. So it's going to be all to play for in the back end of this 10-minute qualifying session. Williams coming across the line now. Not able to improve on the grid, but he does improve on his lap time. 1:46.9 is his quickest. And it seems as though Kart Dude is opting to stay in pit lane and just start from the rear of the grid. So across the line now. Who was that? Just trying to get a gist of who's crossing the line here. We'll go on board with AK. Let's see if he can improve on his fastest. He's not able to go quicker. So all these guys, as we go on board with Penguin, who's lost the rear end at turn 2. So his qualifying session is done and dusted. Currently P4. So very good move just to get out of the way there when returning the pit lane. So we'll go on board with Slambo cockpit view. Let's see if he can actually improve on his provisional pole time as he gets a lot of oversteer at turn 4. He almost lost the rear end there. He barely held onto it, but very good car control from his point of view. Slambo, that's why he is our Season 11 champion here at RaceOnOz's, and he's decided to completely park it up in the pit lane. He doesn't think that anyone can challenge that. So we'll go trackside view. Let's see what Nige is up to. So he's currently in the mid sector, sitting P6 as it stands with 145.1. So going through the mid sector now, we'll get a sector split in a few moments' time as we go down the back straight with this fast right-hander, a heavy load on the left-hand side tyres, just like the last corner, turn 16. So down the back straight we go now on board with Nige. It seems like he's backed out of it. Now who is that? It's one of the Ignition control cars. It's definitely not Stu. That might be the car. It's the car of V8 Power, the privateer. So across the line now for Stu. Currently P9 with 145.3. He moves up in the P7 with a 145.2. So 1/10 of a second. Got him up 2 positions on the grid. So shows you how close the times are here at Race on Oz. As we go on board quickly with V8 Power. Out the last corner now. He'll be the last guy to cross the control line to end this qualifying session for the final race of the season. What's this going to be for V8 Power? Does he improve? So he did not improve. He remains P10 there with a 145.9. So here is your starting grid. Championship leader and champion of the series, Slambo, will take pole position for Next Level Racing. Then for ignition controls, we have got Ghost in P2. Stimson for Selby Acoustics in P3. And then Stimson's teammate JJ Penguin in P4 for Selby Acoustics. We've got AK in P5. Nige in P6. Stu in P7. Stozza in P8 with the sole Gamesman Racing Team Porsche there. So we'll run through the grid once again, and it's going to be the championship leader on pole position for, I don't know, I've lost count here, but another pole position added to his tally in this series. He's a well-deserved champion, no doubt. A very good qualifying performance there. Goes a very good qualifying performance from him, missing the last couple of rounds. And he's already starting on the front row for his first race back here at RaceOnOz's Pagnian GT3 series. We've got Stimson second in the championship. He'll be looking to get the monkey off his back tonight. Can we see him on the top step of the podium this time around? We'll wait and see. We've got approximately 90 minutes to see if that will be the outcome of this one. His teammate in Selby Acoustics for JJ Penguin in row 2 in P4. So Selby Acoustics in a good view to take out the team's championship earlier on. AK in P5 for Next Level Racing. Nige first the Brutal Racing cars in P6. Stu for Ignition Controls in P7. Stozza, the sole Gamesman Racing Team car tonight in P8. Kart number 1 for Selby Q6 at P9. V8 Power privateer tonight. And third wildcard entry in the league as well, sitting in P10. Very good result for him. Benny for Brutal Racing P11. For Selby Q6, we got Turbo on P12. We got Williams for Bruce Howell Racing in P13. And then we got Kart Dude opting not to do a lap in qualifying in P14 for Next Level Racing. So we'll see if that's a very good decision to make towards the end of this race. Let's see if he can pull off a very good result tonight from the back of the grid. So we're about to go green here at Catalunya GP. This is the endurance round. This is round 7 of the Pagnian GT3 series hosted by Race on Oz. It'll be the championship leader and the champion-elect in Slambo to lead everyone heading into turn 1. So the lights are going red now. We're about to go green for round 7 of the Pagnian GT3 series. Very good launch from the championship leader, Slambo. Stimson, very good launch as well for Selby Acoustics. He's already up in the P2. Ghost has been relegated back in the P3. He's going on the defensive line, heading into turn 1. So making his car extremely wide. But he's lost out the JJ Penguin as well. So the 2 Selby Acoustics cars in P2 and P3. The team's championship after turn 1. Looking to be in their favour. Now, as for Ignition Controls in the battle for P3 in the team's championship, not a good start from Ghost. Stozza up in the P5. AK's lost out. He's moved 1 position back in the P6. Nige to follow with 1 position out as well. But that's going to be Stu trying to overtake Nige on the outside. This is team championship defining stuff between these two earlier on. As they battle it out for P7 here, Stu right on the rear bumper of Nige for Bruce Howell Racing. You got kart number 1 playing himself into this picture as well. And then you got Turbo for Selby Acoustics. So 2 Selby Acoustics guys in behind these 2 guys here. We've got Williams for Bruce Howell Racing and Benny in P11 and P12. Kart Dude for Next Level Racing has already moved up 1 spot into P13. Massive defensive line taken at the hairpin section of this circuit. Nige is trying to hold off a charging Stu for ignition controls, but he's going to send it down the inside in the Bentley. That's a very good move made by Stu. He's got him in the last sector of this one. He should be able to get it fully made around this section of the track, but Nige is making Stu's life like a living hell on this opening lap as they have a little bit of side-by-side contact out of the second last corner here at Catalunya. And Nige holds off. Stu's lost out 1 position, the kart number 1. They go side-by-side down the main straight now. There's going to be kart number 1 with the inside line. No, Stu has been gifted up into 8th position there. So kart number 1 thinking twice before trying to hold the inside line there down the main straight on Stu. So Stu trying to get back into the mix here. We'll go further to the front. Slambo, that lead has been extended out to 1.1 seconds over Stimson and P2. Stimson wouldn't be happy earlier on because he'll want to get on the top step on the podium at least once in this series. He's P2 in the championship and he's been on the podium 5 times. Can he get on the top step of the podium this time out? We'll wait and see. But we're still only on lap 2 of 51 still. It's early stages in this one here at Catalunya. So they'll all be driving to a number of right-handers because they're going to get very hot around there. So I'm just going to take my jumper off. So that lead starting to click over to 1.3 seconds. Stimson has got P2 in favour of Ghost, who's a further 1.5 seconds behind him. Now it seems as though where's Penguin? He's dropped a whole heap of positions because he's all the way back in P12 now. So something has happened to Penguin on the previous lap because he was challenging for the podium positions 1 lap ago and he sees himself all the way back in P12. Lucky for him, it is the endurance round, so he's got plenty of laps to be able to maintain that ground throughout the mid-stage and the later stage of the race. You can see in the background, Kart Dude for Next Level Racing. So that's a very big championship-defining stuff for Selby Acoustics. Earlier on, JJ Penguin already back in the wars here. So Ghost is trying to hold off a charging Stozza for Gainsman Racing. This pace has come out of nowhere from Stozza. He's right on the rear bumper of Ghost now. This is going to be a battle to watch in the early stages. The Porsche is going to have the cornering speed, but the Bentley is going to have the top end speed down the straights. So it's going to be a very good battle to keep an eye on here as we enter the mid-sector here on lap 3 at Catalunya. See Stimson drifting away in the background there in P2. Got a couple guys at the back there. It's a battle for P5 between Nige and AK and Stu. Those guys battling it out for P5. Currently, our focus is on the battle for P3 between Ghost and Stozza. So ignition controls versus Gainsman Racing team here. And it looks like Stozza's got a very good run on Ghost. This section of the track is really going to favour the Porsche here. Can he make the move heading into the last corner? We'll wait and see. He's going to have to send it down the inside unexpectedly if he's to do so. A lot of curb usage there from Ghost. He's really under pressure now from the guy behind in Stozza for Gainsman Racing team. Down the main straight now on entry to lap 4. Stozza's going to be in the slipstream here. He might be able to take a look heading into turn 1. You see a train of cars in the background there. And that looks like to be Stu on the inside there for ignition controls. So for Ghost, he's holding off Stozza here. As for Slambo, that lead has extended to 2.2 seconds over Stimson and P2. So Stimson earlier on looking to be driving to a number. He's using every bit of road, as you can see. Right on the rear bumper once again is Stozza on entry to turn 4. So Ghosty might be under pressure heading into turn 5. It's going to be a prime opportunity for Stozza to send that down the inside. But he opts to not take that move. As Ghost goes out just a little bit wide. And that invites Stozza for another opportunity to take a move on him. But still early stages, so they won't be all-out fight in the early stage, I reckon. So Stozza, very good game plan for him, just to stick it in behind Ghost, to put himself in the mix later in this race. But currently, this is the battle for P5. It's a 5-car train from Nige all the way down to kart number 1. So these guys, you can even put Williams in it. So it's a 6-car battle here. Battle for P5. Nige trying to take a defensive line at the hairpin there, and he's completely binned it there. Went way too deep on the brakes, and he missed his inside apex at the hairpin. And it's going to invite AK to look to make a move in the last sector of lap 4. Nige really on the defensive here. You can see Stu lurking in the background as well for ignition controls. If these two make contact, he might be the favourite of this situation here. So down the main straight now, we've got a couple of the Bruce Hale racing cars trying to chase down their ignition controls car in Stu as well. So that battle for P3 in the team's championship is well and truly heated between those guys, because we've got Nige for Bruce Hale Racing currently sitting in P5, and he's trying to hold off a resurgent AK for Next Level Racing, who's currently sitting P6. A good performance from him so far. So this is going to be one of the battles to watch. And we still got the battle between Ghost and Stozza starting to play its toll as well. Those two separated by 4/10 of a second. So I'd expect that battle to be fought to the very end of this one. We're only on lap 5 of 51. And things are really starting to heat up through this mid-pack. And this is the thing that I mentioned as well. This mid-pack group, they're all separated by 9 points in the Drivers' Championship. So it's everything to play for in this train of cars, as AK gets a little bit unsettled at that chicane there, and he's had to completely back out of it. So he's lost a whole heap of positions from P6 to P9 under pressure from kart number 1 for Selbia Q-Sticks, and this train of 6 cars is still going. The 2 Bruce Hale racing cars trying to track down the ignition controls car of Stu in the Bentley, the number 88. No doubt these two are helping each other out to get that position, because they got their teammate in Nige just in front of Stu for ignition controls. So we'll start to see how the tyre deck is tracking throughout at least the first 20 laps of this one as well. The thermal deck really going to play its toll, no doubt, with the left-hand side tyres starting to heat up, no doubt, at around lap 10, I'd say. Really start to heat up to the point where you've got to cool them down the main straights as much as possible. Currently on board with Benny here. He's chasing down the ignition controls car of Stu. He's trying to act as a rear gunner for his teammate in Nige up ahead. He's trying to hold off Stu. Stu trying to make a move down the inside. Not up far enough. Not able to get him under brakes. So Nige, he's going to take the defensive line heading into turn 5, because Stu seems to have a little bit of an overlap on entry on the outside. He's going to try to do a cutback manoeuvre here. He's got a little bit of oversteer. He's trying to make the move down the inside, but I think he's lost out big time because he wasn't able to get the traction on exit. And now he's under threat from Benny, the sister car out of Bruce Hale Racing in behind. So Stu has lost a whole bunch of time out of the exit of turn 5. He's under pressure by Nige's 2 teammates here. And this is the prime opportunity for Bruce Hale Racing to really capitalise off of the missed traction there from Stu on exit of turn 5. Stu will definitely be out of the groove after that. So we see Benny going very deep under brakes on entry to turn 14, 15 chicane. as we head onto the main straight now. Is able to stay in the slipstream here of Stu and be able to get that top end speed at least a few kilometres faster than him. We'll wait and see if he's able to make a move under brakes heading into turn 1. But earlier on, it's going to be Stu trying to take a look at Nige. It's the battle for P5, but he's not up far enough to get him under brakes. So he may have hindered his exit here because Benny's right on the rear bumper of Stu now. But Stu's going to send it down the inside of Nige. And I reckon Stu's up in the P5 now because Nige has just let out the throttle just a little bit. But he's going to be on the outside line heading into turn 4. Nige still trying to hold it down the outside. And he should have the inside lane if he can hold on entry to turn 5 here. He's going to try and make a diving move. He does. Is it going to be contact? Oh, very lucky there. Very deep under brakes. Very good car control from Nige. Not to make contact with Stu there. They're going side by side on entry to turn 7. Stu being forced out wide just a little bit. But Nige has just let out a little bit on entry to turn 8 there. Right on the rear bumper now as we go down the back straight. The two Bruce Hale Racing Porsches battling it out for P7 in the background there. Nige is trying to make a move down the inside, but he's got his teammate stuck on the outside and they make contact with one another. AK's in this mix as well. And you got kart number 1 in the background lurking. You got the Cara Turbo in the background and P11. So Stu, the pressure has been relieved now after that contact between Nige and his teammates there. We've still got plenty of laps to play for those guys to be able to make ground up on Stu. So we go back to the front where Slambo, the lead has extended out to 3.7 seconds over Stimson. Stimson has a 5-second lead over Ghost for the Ignition Controls racing team. And then for the Gamesman racing team, we've got Stozza, who's lost out just a little bit of time in comparison to Ghost throughout the last few laps, but he's really tracking well for a good result in the early stage here. So Benny's still trying to gain back the ground on Stu. So he's currently sitting P6 on track. He's got his two Bruce Hale teammates in behind. So there's going to be not much pressure from behind whatsoever. So then we got kart number 1 in P9, AK in P10. We've got Turbo on P11. And that battle for P11 starting to heat up between the two Selby Acoustics teammates. And then we got the next level racing car of Kart Dude playing himself into the battle for P12 as well. So he's trying to make ground on Penguin here. And that's effectively the battle for the team's championship. So he's got to make a lot of ground, Kart Dude. He's going to at least finish in the top 7 at least to be able to challenge for the team's championship. We've still got plenty of laps to go. We're only on lap 8 of 51. He's got the lights on, so Penguin will be feeling the pressure throughout this stage of the race. You wouldn't want that pressure too early on, no doubt. But as for trying to win the team's championship, that pressure has got to be applied in a race like this, as Penguin loses the rear end and he's out to the outside wall there. He's given the position to Kart Dude for Next Level Racing. He's moved up in the P12. So next in line for Kart Dude is the sister car of Selby Acoustics Racing of Turbo. So a few laps time, Kart Dude will be on the rear bumper of Turbo. That's going to be the battle for P11. And he's got his teammate in P9 trying to track down kart number 1 for Selby Acoustics. These guys battling it out for the team's championship as well. So it's everything to play for these guys. We got Benny. He's lost a little bit of ground in comparison to Stu on the last lap by 0.2 of a second. That lead is extended out to 4.2 seconds. So he's really bringing the pace tonight, no doubt. He's not keeping it easy here. He's gone all out here. He's going to try win this to the very end. It's going to be showing why he's had such a dominant season so far during the later stage. So you can see all that work put in earlier on, and then he's able to click to a number in the later stages, and that's really put him in. So he's really played the cards well here, Slambo. The alien-like performances throughout the whole season. We want to give him the commentator his closest championship rival in Stimson and P2. Only 4.5 seconds adrift from him. And we got Ghost in P3. He's sitting P4 in the championship, and he's trying to seal the deal for that position there. We got Stozza in P4. We got Stu in P5 for Ignition Controls. He's got a 1 second gap over Benny in P6 there for Bruce Hale Racing. A further 1 second back for Bruce Hale Racing is Williams. Then we've got kart number 1 in P8. AK in P9 for Next Level Racing. And Nigel's lost a whole bunch of positions because he's all the way back in P10 now for Bruce Hale Racing. We've got Turbo on P11 still, so Kart Dude right on the rear bumper now. This is going to be a battle to watch. The battle for P11. Effectively the battle for the team's championship as well. As Kart Dude tries to make a move down the inside, heading into turn 4. He's going to get a little bit of an overlap, but he's going to be on the wrong side on entry to turn 5. Turbo's going to have the inside defensive line here. He should be able to hold on, but Kart Dude going to be looking for the cutback maneuver as Turbo goes out wide. The sand feeds him into the outside wall, and he's lost out there. So Kart Dude has been favoured there. He's moved up in the P11. So next car in line is the Bruce Hale Racing car of Nige in P10. He's got a train of approximately 5 cars in front of him. You could put Stu in the mix here as well, but it's a 1 second gap between Stu and Benny. That's the battle for P5. Benny in P6, Williams in P7. We've got kart number 1 trying to hold off AK in P8. So might actually go on board cockpit view of AK this lap to see what sort of inroads he can actually get in comparison to kart number 1, but he's went out wide there. So we might actually have to change. No, we'll stay there. We'll stay on board with AK as he tries to gain the position back from Nige in P9. So I'll shut up this lap, and you can see the work throughout this whole lap here at Catalunya on board with AK for Next Level Racing. So AK just maintaining that gap between himself and kart number 1. So he's got past Nige that time around, which is very good to see. So now AK is trying to track down kart number 1. That's the battle for P8. You can't really see where Stu's tracking. So this is currently P5 on board with Stu for Ignition Controls. So he's still maintaining that gap between himself and Benny for Bruce Hale Racing. So those guys battling it out for P3 in the team's championship. We've got Williams lurking in the background there as well with his lights on. So there's going to be a full 24-hour simulation, I forgot to mention as well. So we are going to have dark conditions, which is really going to spice things up because I reckon a few people missed their braking markers, and it's going to force a lot more mistakes than we're used to. So we'll wait and see what happens. But as for the leader, Slambo, champion-elect, currently got a 6.2 second lead over his closest rival in Stimson. So I reckon the first of the pit stops will be looking to go on the soft compound tyres because the track is really starting to cool down now, I reckon. It'll be a very good strategy call to be able to come in and maybe get a little bit of feel on board as well. So we've got Ghost in P3. He's tracking well, but he's 13.2 seconds adrift from the lead of this race, so he's got a lot of work to do. We've got Stoza maintaining P4. He's had a very good performance so far for Gainsman Racing Team. Stu in P5 in the background there. You can see Benny in the background, then Williams for Bruce Hale Racing. And you got the two cars in the background, the cut number 1 and AK. AK's got an inside run on cut number 1, so he had to get position there, cut number 1 to AK. He's lost a couple of positions because Nige moves up in the P9 there. And I think Kart Dude is also playing himself into this battle as well. He's one of the key contenders for the team's championship for Next Level Racing. He's got to get a big haul of points to help out Slambo here. He's the next driver up in the team's championship. The second highest driver for Next Level Racing. So he's got big weights on his shoulders here. Currently sitting P11, so he's still got a lot of work to do, no doubt. He's got to at least get himself into that top 7 mix if he's to get a big haul of points here at Catalunya. So kart number 1 is his next target. So last time around, kart number 1, a 1:48.3 plays a 1:46.7 for Kart Dude. So you can see the time comparisons are really in favour of Kart Dude there. Nige a little bit further up ahead. His last time around was a 1:47.2. So that means he's made ground on AK, but only by 1/10 of a second. And we've got Williams with a 1:48.2 last lap. Stoza, he's moved down 2 positions, so something's happened to Stoza. He's made a mistake in the last sector on lap 13. What's happened to him? So Stu's up in the P4, Benny up in the P5. I'm just curious to know what's actually happened to Stoza as he goes across the line in a few moments. We'll get a lap time reading. He's not looking too happy with the rear stability of that Porsche for Gainsman Racing Team, because his last lap was a 1:55.9. So he's had a massive mistake in the last sector. I reckon he's escorted himself off the track. So Williams is trying to chase him down. It's a very unfortunate scene for Stoza very early on. Very good performance so far. So a little mistake. He's put a lot of work in to get up in the P4, and it all went down the drain earlier on, but he's still got plenty of laps to regain that ground. And he's looking very unsettled through turns 5 because Williams is going to go straight past him with relative ease. So Williams is up in the P6. So the two Bruce Hale Racing cars of Benny and Williams up in the P5 and P6. They're two competitors for ignition controls, both in P3 and P4. And the battle for the team's championship between Slambo and Stimson is all-out battle here. But it's a 9.2 seconds in favour of Slambo over Stimson. So he's got a huge of the simulated 24-hour race here at Catalunya. We actually haven't seen a pit stop being made yet. Conditions here. He's really unsettled in the cooler conditions here around Catalunya. He's going to have to make a gutsy strategy play if he's to bring himself back into this. He's lost a lot of ground. Now Kart Dude, he's up in the P10. He's in the top 10. He's tracking well to get a big haul of points. He's still got kart number 1 to contend with for Selby Acoustics. And you got Nige. So kart number 1 and Nige are going battle for P8 here. It's going to be very hard to spot the cars in these dark scenes here. So here we go, through the mid-sector now. It's going to be Nige with the slight advantage over kart number 1. It's the battle for P8. We'll actually go on board with kart number 1, cockpit view. See how much ground he can make through this section of the track. Down the back straight we go. And he's made a lot of ground through that fast right-hander. He's well and truly in the slipstream now. Not going to be able to make a move heading into the hairpin, but deep under brakes. Both these drivers go. Both getting equal exit. Maybe Nige getting a slightly better exit than kart number 1, because kart number 1 is hindered by the entry to the back section here. He took a completely different racing line in comparison to everyone else, and it's really unsettled his entry and exit through this last sector of the track at Catalunya. We actually haven't seen any driver react yet to the changing conditions, so no pit stops have been made. So we'll go back to trackside view as Kart Dude is trying to track down kart number 1 on entry to turn 1 here on lap 16 of 51. So we're still in the early stages here. We're in the nighttime section of this simulated 24-hour race. And it's all-out battle between these guys, and we're starting to enter the clear conditions as well. So there's absolute no cloud cover whatsoever over the track. But that wouldn't make a difference because there's no sun out, so there's not much heat being generated on the track anyway. You see a few little battles going on everywhere here. Just trying to spot up another battle. The battle between Williams and AK. This is Bruce Hale Racing versus Next Level Racing. So let's go on board cockpit view with AK. Let's see what he's got to deal with if he's to get past Williams in P6. No doubt he's going to have the top end speed here because he is in the Bentley for Next Level Racing. And massive dive under brakes from AK. Almost collected the rear end of Williams. Very good car control not to be able to tap that rear end. As we go on to the last sector now on lap 16. It's a very technical sector where the tyres get heated up to the extent where they don't want to work properly in the later stage. That's where strategy comes into play. Being able to deal with that thermal deg is just as good as dealing with the overall tyre deg, no doubt. So it's a complete simulation here at RaceOnOz's. So just stay on board with AK here. I'll shut up for the time being as he tries to track down the 6th place car of Williams. He's went out wide there on entry to turn 3. But that's Williams gone wide as well. So a bit of return of favour there as they both misread their braking and turning markers. It's very hard to see out there, no doubt. Inside, if the drivers are racing inside the cockpit, it's going to be very hard to spot up your braking and turning markers, no doubt. It's very hard to see in these conditions. Still got a bit of light filters around the track. So these two guys, Williams and AK. Bentley has a slightly extended braking zone in comparison to the Porsche. So that will be why he's gaining a lot of ground under brakes, because it takes a lot more braking force to be able to get the Bentley to almost a full stop heading into those slow corners as Williams makes a couple of mistakes up ahead. Right on the rear bumper now, a little bit of a tap from AK on Williams as we enter turn 16 onto the main straight now. Very good reaction time there from AK, not to completely collect the Bruce Hale Racing car of Williams. He would have a little bit of front end damage there. It wouldn't be noticeable on screen right now, but it will at least be 1 or 2% damage there on the front end for AK for Next Level Racing. I love that glowing green light around the grille on the Bentleys. Looks quite nice there. Unfortunately, V8 power has disconnected. We're on lap 18 of 51. That lead in favour of Slambo extended out to 12.1 seconds over Stimson and P2. And he's just trying to go to a number here by the looks of it. So like I said, Slambo always doing a lot of work earlier on and able to maintain that lead throughout the later stage of the race by basically driving to a number, because he doesn't really have to push it now with quite a substantive lead in favour of himself. He's looking to pretty much close it out earlier on in the outcome of this race. Ghost is 6 seconds adrift from Stimson and P2. And you can see Stu, his teammate in the background there. We've got a lap car of Penguin by the looks of it. So he's gone down 1 lap in comparison to the top 2 guys. Or more specific, the top 3 guys in Slambo, Stimson and Ghost. Because Stu's only just got onto the main straight now across the control line. So does it give me an indication of who's done a pit stop? No, it doesn't. Because JJ Penguin might have actually made a pit stop, but we'll wait and see as the laps tick down here at Catalunya. So we're currently in the second weather slot as well. So clear conditions, but we're in nighttime conditions as well. So not much of a change in comparison to cloud cover and the sun glowing over the track to heat up the track. So it's really going to favour the softer compound in this situation, but no guys opting to go on the pit lane for a set of softs. There'll be a very big return on investment in the first stint, but when it comes to the lighter conditions, it's going to make a difference there. So next time around, we'll go on board with the race leader for a full lap. So his last lap was a 1:45.4. We'll see how the fastest laps of the race are going. A 1:44.6 from Slambo, a 1:45.4 from Stimson, a 1:45.7 from Ghost. So those top 3 guys, their fastest laps, all separated by 1.1 seconds there. So Slambo at this stage coming out with the bonus point for fastest lap here at Catalunya. Stimson's tracking well on P2, but he wants to get the monkey off the back. He hasn't been on the top step of the podium this whole season here for RaceOnOz's Pagnian GT3 series. He'll be looking to do it this time. He's still got 31 laps to do so. So 31 laps to chip into that 14.1 second lead of Slambo at the top. He's just going to have to drive very aggressive throughout this mid and later stage of the race if he's to be able to gain that ground back. He's going to have a very gutsy pit strategy as well. So we'll quickly hop on board with Slambo here. Current race leader. We'll go on board cockpit view. He'll take you around for a lap at Catalunya in these dark conditions. So we'll see what sort of lap times he can produce in these conditions here. So we currently see that Slambo only has 7 litres in the tank. So we'll see him in the next couple of laps or so. Go back to trackside view and see the other fuel scenarios. So 7.8 litres for Stimson. So he's got a little bit more on board. 72.5 litres for Ghost. We've got 73.5 litres for Stu. So those guys in the Bentley really favoured in this situation in terms of fuel loads. Because all the Porsche guys looking to be really stuffed up from this. So AK with 73.2 litres as well. And even the NSX's kart dude with 77.2 litres. So it seems as though the Porsches really not favoured here in terms of pit strategy. Because they are default setups and they've been given a completely low fuel load here. I think the Bentley has a greater fuel load as well. So that might be the reason why we're seeing this, as well as the NSXs. So in terms of pit strategy, it really hinders the Porsche drivers because the guys in the Bentleys and the NSXs are really going to make a lot of ground in the pits for the first pit stop. So for the likes of Ghost and Stu, the ignition control guys are really going to be favoured from this situation here. Because they'll be able to stay out on track as long as possible. But as for Slambo and all the other Porsche drivers, it's probably best to get a set of new tyres as well, maybe to soften the compound, to be able to get back a sort of a return from pitting in early. So we'll wait and see what happens here. So we got Slambo heading onto the main straight now, but he's going to go one more time around because I think he only has one more lap of fuel left in the tank. So he's only got 3.6 litres. He's going to have to come in this lap. He's on his fastest lap of the race as well, but he won't be able to do another lap because he'll run out of fuel about halfway through that lap. So we'll stay on board with him and we'll see if he actually takes on some tyres. So what's the scenario for Stimson? It's pretty similar, but he's got a little bit more fuel on board. So I think Slambo has used a lot of fuel in the early stage. What? So here we go. We'll see if Slambo reacts to it here. He's got 2 litres left. I don't think he'll be able to make it another time around. There we go. He's starting to drift off in the pit lane. So we'll get on board chase view just to see if he takes a set of tyres. It's a massive disadvantage for the Porsche drivers here, having to pit in early. So there's going to be no tyre change here. It's just going to be a full tank of fuel on board Slambo here. We can see a couple other of the pit teams here. So Stimson will be coming in. Ghost is also coming in, but he's going to have a very short stop here. See him go past the leader, or was the leader before Slambo. So you can see them start to top up their fuel loads. Stu goes past now, so he's taking a completely different strategy here, Stu. So we'll wait and see what happens to him in the later stage here. So we're at lap 24 of 51 here at Catalunya. See a couple more of the guys going past. That's Williams. That's AK in P2. We got Kart Dude in P4 here. We got Kart number 1 in P5. Slambo currently coming out of pit lane now. That's going to be Stozza coming past in P7. So Ghost has actually gained a lot of ground in comparison to Slambo. who's currently the provisional leader based on those numbers. So he's only 5 seconds adrift from Slambo, currently in P6. So it shows you how big of a disadvantage the field numbers are for the Porsche drivers, because Stimson comes out on track in P9, and that means he's also 20 seconds down from Slambo on P6, so that's a massive loss for Stimson. So go back up to the top. Stu leading this one by quite a comfortable margin so far. 9.5 seconds. He's really going to be favoured in this scenario. He could play himself in for a win tonight if he can maintain the pace here. He's got plenty of fuel on board his Bentley here, 64.8 litres, as we're about to enter lap 25 of 51. So we're about the halfway stage of this one now. We're about to tick over the light cloud conditions, and we're going to be going over to the early stages in the morning here at Catalunya as well. Got kart number 1 drifting off into pit lane. That's going to be Slambo driving right past him. We've also got Stosser in pit lane for Gazman Racing Team. So we're still yet to see pit stops from AK, Kart Dude, Williams and Stu. Those guys yet to pit in. But I think we'll see Williams in next lap because he's only got 2 litres on board his Porsche. So it's going to be running on fumes almost. He's been very lenient on the fuel load as well, I reckon, because he would have started off with the same amount of fuel in comparison to Slambo. So he's let off a little bit on the power throughout the early stage of this one. He saved just a little bit of fuel to get him a few laps more than his fellow Porsche drivers here. So a very good strategy there. But we will see him in this time around. As we go on board with Kart Dude. He's holding off his next level racing teammate of AK behind. So these guys looking to play themselves in the mix for a podium now, based on the field numbers, 67 litres. So we got Stu drifting off in the pit lane. He'll be at a full stop for a shorter period of time in comparison to Slambo. So they should be pretty close, but Slambo's coming out of the last corner now. And where's Stu in pit lane? So he's still parked up there. So he's only exiting now. So Slambo goes right past, and he's only 5 seconds adrift from the lead of this race that is currently being occupied by his fellow Next Level Racing teammate in AK in the Bentley. So there's going to be a lot of fuel saving to the end for these guys. Next lap I'll get a quick read on the fuel consumption. So Williams has come in for his mandatory pit stop. And he's currently P8 on track. He should come out around P9, P10. As his teammate gets past him in pit lane. So this is the battle effectively for P2. So we got Ghost, Stimson and Stu in the mix for that. But Ghost has really been favoured in this situation. He should be filled to the end as well. We've got Slambo. He's only got 67.7 litres. I don't know if that's going to be enough. It should be. I'll get a reading of fuel consumption this time around as we're about to cross control line on board with Slambo. So let's see how hard he's utilising his fuel here. So we'll go with 66.9 across the control line. So I think it's 3.65 litres per lap, if that's the reading that I'm getting on Slambo's Motec computer there. So I reckon it's 3.65 litres per lap. Let's see if we can compare it to the Bentley. They don't have that data on their Motec. We've got a battle between the teammates starting to heat up here between Williams and Benny. And then you got kart number 1 lurking in the background, trying to make a move on Benny through turns 4, trying to get the better of him, heading into turn 5 as he tries to search for an overlap, but he doesn't get it. Wrong button there. So the two Bruce Hale racing cars, both P8 and P9, and then Selby Q6 car NSX of kart number 1, rounding out the top 10. And he's right on the rear bumper of the two Bruce Hale racing cars here. He's looking to make up a couple of spots throughout this mid-stage of this endurance race here at Catalunya. You can see the lap time's really starting to drift off now. 5.4 seconds slower than their fastest laps. So last time around, the 1:47.5 from Benny, 1:58.8 from Williams, because he came into the pits last time around. The 1:47.2 from kart number 1. As kart number 1's trying to get a little bit of a run, heading onto the last corner now, onto the main straight. On Williams here, he's in the slipstream now, and he should be able to get the draft and be able to get him under brakes heading into turn 1. If he's timed it to perfection here. Doesn't look to be up far enough here. We're on entry to lap 28 of 51, so we've still got plenty of laps to play. And these guys got plenty of opportunity to make a lot more ground forward. So these guys, 45 seconds adrift from the lead of the race. It's currently occupied by Slambo, his teammate AK in P2 by 1.5 seconds there. We've got Ghost in P3. Stimson in P4, 21.6 seconds adrift from Slambo. And we've got Stu rounding out the top 5 with a 1:45.7 last time around. So he's only 3 tenths off the pace in comparison to Slambo. So Stu's in the last sector here. So everyone will be filled to the end. As far as I'm aware, we'll actually get the reading for the Bentley drivers. So we'll stay on board with Stu this time around. We'll get cockpit view so it doesn't disorientate me trying to get the reading. So we'll say 63.2 litres. See Stimson in the picture now. So he's so Stu's only 2 seconds adrift from Stimson and P4. So this is going to be the battle to watch in the later stages of this one, no doubt. Stu's really putting pedal to the metal throughout this mid-stage. He's really throwing the car around at this stage. See a little bit of extra oversteer heading onto the back straight, but he's caught it as soon as it's happened. A lot of inside curb at the hairpin just to get it to a stop. And just get it turned in and open up the corner exit just a little bit more. It's the whole dynamic of trying to attack the curbs here. So 2.7 litres was the usage that lap for Stu, according to what I've got. So how many laps we got to go? We've got a bit over 22 laps, so times 22. That means he's going to use 59.4 litres, so he's filled to the end there. Barely. He's going to get home with at least 1 litre to spare. Then we go up on board with Slambo. He's going to be looking touch and go here for Slambo. It's not looking likely for him to make it home without fuel saving. So just trying to assess the situation here. See if I can get a reading on his computer. I'm not sure that 3.65 litres was a true reading. I think it was just a visual thing. Now, who's actually another Porsche driver? We'll go on board with Stimson to see his fuel consumption. We'll see if these guys can make it home. It's saying 80 litres of fuel on there. So 56.4 is the number. So it looks like those guys are using 3.05 litres. No, that's the... I think that's engine temp or something. No, I'm not sure what that number is. I think it just stays the same. So currently we've got 21 laps to go. We're on lap 31 of 51. So once we get the reading here for fuel consumption for the Porsche drivers, currently on board with Stimson, will give us a very good average consumption for the Porsche drivers. We'll see if any of these guys can make it home based on what Stimson records with this number. So 2.6 litres was the consumption there. We've got 20 laps to go. So he's going to take 52 litres. So it looks like Stimson is all good to the end. I think Slambo is also good to the end as well. So it's going to be touch and go anyway between those guys. But I'm pretty sure they won't have to fuel save. AK still yet to come into pit lane to serve his mandatory pit stop for this race. So he's currently been on the same set of tyres for 32 laps as well as everyone else, but he hasn't given him a rest in pit lane. That's the only difference. We got Stu in P5 there. He's trying to track down Stimson, who's a further 1.5 seconds ahead of him. So Stimson trying to hold off Stu in P5. We go further down. I think there's a battle starting to heat up here between Benny and kart number 1. This is Bruce Hale Racing versus Selby Acoustics here. And kart number 1 looking very racy in the background. He tries to make a move, but he's not able to get up far enough. He's just trying to search where Benny is vulnerable and where he's very good. Under brakes now here through the mid-section of the track. Heading onto the back straight. Kart number 1 right behind the rear bumper of Benny. Here is the battle for P9. You got Turbo up ahead for Selby Acoustics, but he's barely in the picture as we go down the back straight here. It's all out racing here as kart number 1 tries to do it under brakes, but he had to bring it to a complete stop pretty much before the hairpin corner. He's going to have to set up another manoeuvre later on. So that's Turbo getting unsettled through the last sector. He's really hindered by an exit. Now he's drifting off from the pit lane now, so Turbo is drifting off there. So this is effectively the battle for P8 between Benny and kart number 1. Down the main straight. Is kart number 1 able to gain much ground with the slipstream? Probably not. No, Benny's completely lost it on turn 1. He's completely lost the rear end. He's gifted kart number 1 position 8. So these gaps between the top 5 guys starting to stay pretty much similar here. Stimson right on the back end, chasing down a podium finish here. Very consistent with 5 podiums in the series. But he's looking to get on the top step and not looking likely at this stage, as he's 31 seconds adrift from the lead of this one, which is currently in favour of his closest rival in Slambo. He's put a very big fight to the very end here, Stimson. So he's currently occupying position 3 now as Stu goes up in the P4 in the background there, because AK has come in for his mandatory pit stop. He only has to get like 9 litres on board by the looks of it. This is the race leader, Slambo. 11-second lead over Ghost in P2. Might actually go on board with Ghost next time around. Cockpit view to see how well he's tracking through this stage of the race, as we're starting to get into the lighter conditions here with a little bit of cloud cover. See, it's medium cloud, not heavy cloud, one of the two. Might be light cloud. Been very consistent throughout this race so far, Slambo. His last lap was a 1:46.4. It's a second quicker almost than his closest rival in Ghost in P2. You can see a lap car in Penguin in the background there. And we'll quickly go on board with Ghost. And I'll shut up for this time around. He'll take you on board a lap here in the lighter conditions here, light cloud. Hope you enjoyed that onboard view with Ghost that time around. And unfortunately it was 2 seconds of a second slower, or 2 seconds slower last time around in comparison to Slambo on the lead. So he's lost 2 seconds on the last time around. Stimson in P3 trying to hold off Stu in the background there for Ignition Controls. Ignition Controls looking to get 2-car podium here with Ghost and Stu. And we've got Kart Dude. He's moved up into the top 5 now as well. So he's really tracking well for Next Level Racing. And all of a sudden, they're pretty much in the lead of the team's championship here. You've still got the likes of Penguin and P12. Still getting a decent haul of points. We go further up. Let's see if we've got any more battle packs heating up here. So essentially the battle is with P3 here between Stu and Stimson. I'm currently in favour of Stimson here, as you see Stu in the background. So we're on lap 36 of 51. So these guys will start to close up on each other in the later stages. I think Slambo starting to pick up the pace as well. Last lap was a 146.8. Last lap for Stu, a 147 flat. So 2 tenths of a second separated their last lap. But Stimson has it in his favour. Last time around for Ghost, a 145.2. Plays a 147.1 in comparison to Ghost, his closest contender in P2. 15 seconds adrift from Slambo is Ghost. So it gives you an indication of how big that lead's starting to extend. And who's that? That's the Gainsborough Racing Team car of Stozza in the background there. Got unsettled on the last corner and completely binned it. He's lost his rear wing. He's almost lost his front splitter, as he's going to have to let Stu by here on entry to turn 1. Looking very unsettled in his car. He was looking to get a very good result in the early stages of this one. He was tracking P4, battling it out with Ghost in the early stages. So currently it's a 14-lap sprint race to the end for these guys. They're all trying to make ground on each other. But as for the lead, Slambo has a very hefty lead of 15.8 seconds over Ghost. So all that Slambo has to do is keep it on the track. And he's got the win tonight, closing out the last round of the Pagnian GT3 series, hosted by RaceOnOz's Division 1. There's going to be another championship victory to Slambo. He is champion-elect here. He closed the championship out last round due to getting the race win. He's had 4 wins this season. He's looking to get that up to the 5th win of the season out of 8 races. Shows you how much of a dominant championship he's had. We can quickly get those championship standings up on screen probably, and have a look at all the minor statistics as well. So we'll just scroll through this here. Just bear with me. There we go. So Slambo, 144 points at the top, 4 race wins, 6 podiums. He's had 4 poles. He's added 1 more pole to that, so it's 5. Currently got the fastest lap, so he's got 5 fastest laps, 5 poles, provisionally 7 podiums, and 5 wins. And then you got Stimson, provisionally 6 podiums on 110 points there. And then for Penguin, he's had 1 win, 3 podiums, 1 pole, and 2 fastest laps. And then you got Ghost, the last of the race winners in P4. He's had 2 podiums as well. You've had a podium from Kart Dude, a podium from Westy Mike, and also a pole position from Westy Mike as well. So as for the guys getting the bonus points and the podiums and wins, that's the top 6 drivers that have pretty much dominated them. You go further down, kart number 1 all the way to Turbo. Haven't got any better than 4th. So those guys not likely to get a podium at this stage. But as for Stu, he's in the prime spot to be able to get his sole podium here in the series here for the Pagnian GT3 series. You see that midfield still something to look forward to in this later stage, as well as that team's championship up there. So it'll be a Q6 with a narrow lead over Next Level Racing. So we'll take that off screen now as we go back to the live scenes on board with Stimson. So the leader of the race, Slambo, is on lap 39 of 51. So the lap's starting to really tick down now as we enter the final stage of this one. We got Stozza in for a pit stop here to repair his damage. And Stu's lost a little bit of ground on the previous few laps here. So he's 5 seconds adrift from Stimson up ahead. And that sole podium looking very unlikely at this stage. He's got a lot of ground to make up with 12 laps to go. Kart Dude, he's come from P14 on the grid all the way up the P5. So he's made up 9 positions. And he's really going to help Next Level Racing for a late charge at the team's championship title here at Catalunya GP. It's going to be a big haul of points for him as well. So we might be able to close out 5th position in the championship, the Drivers' Championship that is. He's had a podium, so he's been very consistent in this series. Just trying to see if we've actually got any battle packs heating up. But everyone's seem to be doing their own little thing here. So we still have Stozza in pit lane for repairs on his Porsche. So we got a few guys that are a lap down now. So we got AK, we got Turbo, we got Penguin, and we got Stozza. All those guys currently 1 lap down or more. Slambo extended that lead to 19 seconds. Quite a hefty lead over Ghost. There's going to be another podium to Ghost at this stage. He's looking quite comfortable in P2 over Stimson and P3. The gap between those two is just a bit under 10 seconds here. So we do have little battles that could spark up in the later stage between Kart Dude and Benny. And we've got a battle between Kart number 1 and Benny rather, and then Kart Dude and Williams. That's battle for P5. You can see Kart Dude just in the picture as we go down the main straight on board with Williams. It's been a very dominant performance from Slambo once again. He's trying to tick over 5 race wins out of 8. So very dominant season here. Ghost is going to hold on for P4 in the championship as well. With the comfortable 2nd spot here. So let's see how the fastest laps of the race are starting to shape up now. So currently, fastest lap for Slambo, 1:44.6. He's the only driver in the 1:44s. So he's looking to get fastest lap as well. He's looking to clean sweep the round once again. He's had a couple of times where he's clean sweep. It's going to be another one of those times. On the grid all the way up the 5th. He's tracking well to help Next Level Racing secure this team's championship title. Be a very good effort from those guys heading into this round down in the team's championship. And as for P3 in the championship, it looks to be closed out by the Ignition Controls guys in Ghost and Stu. They're both P2 and P4. because the Bruce Hale Racing guys are all P6, P8, and then unfortunately Nige with a disconnection as well. So they're going to get a decent haul of points, but not what they would want to be able to secure P3 in the team's championship. So currently, lap 42 of 51. And Slambo's trying to chase down one of the Bruce Hale Racing cars. I think this is Benny here. We'll quickly go on board to see if it is, and it is. So Benny's just going to have to get out of the way soon, because he's got the faster car in Slambo for Next Level Racing, sending it down the inside at turn 5. So very easy manoeuvre there. Next in line for Slambo is kart number 1. He's only a further 4 seconds up the road from Benny. You can see Slambo in the background there. So he's about to lap the 7th place driver in a few laps' time. These mid-pack guys are consistently doing 147s in comparison to 145s set by Slambo in the recent past. So let's see if we can see Slambo in the background. There he is. He's blazing away out of turn 16. He's got a decent gap buffer between himself and Benny already. That gap between Stimson and Stu extending out to over 10 seconds now. So Stu really not being able to put faster lap times in the later stage here in comparison to Stimson. Stimson's just caught another level here to be able to maintain position 3 here, the last step of the podium. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get the monkey off his back tonight with getting a race win. He's been on the podium 6 times this season. I'm pretty sure he's been on the podium more times than Slambo, but Slambo's had more race wins. See one of the Selby Acoustics cars in the background as well. So he's got a tail gunner there, just in case. That's Penguin in P11. So he's gained one more position up on Stozza in the recent past. And then we've got Turbo rounding out the top 10. He's driving out of the Selby Acoustics garage as well in the NSX. AK currently P9 for Next Level Racing. He's tracking well after making his pit stop. He's gained a little bit more ground on the next place driver in 8th. Benny ahead for Bruce Hale Racing. But a little bit too little too late for AK. He's probably just going to have to settle for P9 here. But the lead in favour of Slambo is 22.4 seconds over Ghost in P2. And that gap between Ghost and Stimson is extended out to 18 seconds. And then 9 seconds adrift from Stimson is Stu in P4. He's heading down the back straight now on entry to the deep braking zone of the hairpin. Looking very good out of the hairpin there. Might actually go on board with Kart Dude in the next lap just to see how he's tracking on board cockpit. So Slambo really catching up to the rear bumper of kart number 1 now. So we'll go down the back straight, really gaining ground. Slambo very deep under the brakes. You can see him pinch the rear brakes just a little bit. He tried to hold on to the rear end as much as he could without losing a bit of time, but he's going to send it down the inside. up the hill section there as we enter what is sector 3 here at Catalunya. Very technical last sector that heats up the left hand side tyres up to ground there for Gamesman Racing Team in P12. He's just getting out of the way there because he's got lap traffic ahead with Slambo and kart number 1. So we'll quickly go on board with kart dude. So I'll shut up this time around. We'll take you on board for the rest of the lap on board the NSX. This last lap for kart dude, it's a 1:47.5, very good effort from him. So he's on lap 45 of 51, so he's got a little bit over 6 laps to go. And I think that's Slambo in the background as well. So he's about to lap his teammate in 5th place. Let's see if he's able to do so in the later stage here. Be a very dominating performance with only 5 cars still on the lead lap here. So the light fuel loads will make the car a little bit harder to drive as well, because there's not a lot of weight balance in the rear of the car to be able to settle the car in the braking zones. And as for the Bentleys, that will be struggle city for them. So he's trying to set up a battle pack here between Williams and kart number 1. So these two are going battle for P6. And it's going to be bumper to bumper soon as they try to play out for a very good result here. We'll go on board cockpit view with kart number 1 to see if it can chase down Williams ahead for Bruce Howard Racing. You can see him in the picture now. So here we go on entry to turn 1, very deep under brakes. He's went a little bit too deep as he's missed his inside apex at turn 1. He's trying to keep the mid corner speed up through turns 3 and 4. He's not going to be able to make a move in the near future, but he should be able to make a setup manoeuvre at some point. Gain a lot of ground on the brakes at turn 4. Now on entry to turn 5, the hairpins is where a lot of ground can be made. Very deep on the brakes, but missed the inside apex just a little bit. As we scroll up through the gears, a very fast left-hander here up to a fast right-hander on exit. Got to get the power down as quickly as possible to this fast right-hander onto the back straight now. Trying to get into the slipstream of the car ahead for kart number 1 on Williams, but not going to be able to make the ground under brakes. Just going to have to get a very good exit here through the last sector here at Catalunya. Just going to try throw the car around here without trying to heat up the left-hand side tyres. It's very hard on the left-hand side, no doubt. So very renowned for severe amounts of tyre deg on that side of the car. So right on the rear bumper now as we go down the main straight. On board with kart number 1. We'll go back on trackside view. On board with Williams here. You can see the lights in the background of kart number 1 for Selby Acoustics. Trying to send that down the inside heading into turn 1. But not deep enough under brakes, so he's just going to have to wait for another opportunity. So drifted back a little bit, kart number 1. Just going to quickly see if Slambo has overtaken his teammate. So no, I think his teammate is still ahead. Now he is. So his teammate isn't a lap down yet, but very close to being a lap down. We'll go back on board with Williams, who's trying to hold off kart number 1 for Selby Acoustics. So here we go. The closing few laps of this race. A very commanding lead from Slambo. 25 seconds in hand over Ghost. Then Stimson is 41 seconds behind the lead of this one in P3. And we've got Stu in P4. A bit under a minute down from the lead of this one. So the outright pace was brought from Slambo tonight. And he's got past his teammate by the looks of it very easily. This kart dude has, I think, made a mistake last lap. A 152.3 was his last time around. He's just going to have to settle for position 5 here at Catalunya, but it's a very good result for him and his team, as well as his Drivers' Championship, trying to maintain a top 5 finish here. So he should be able to get across the line in terms of that result. And for Next Level Racing, they should be able to get their noses in front of Selby Acoustics. It's going to come down to the absolute wire here. It's only got to be a few points in it either way. It's a very narrow lead heading into this one in favour of Selby Acoustics. But their lead driver is the only one in the mix for a big haul of points in Stimson. He's only sitting P3. Is it going to be enough to seal the team's championship? I'm not able to comment on that until points are finalised. So we will notify you about the end result there. But tracking well in P3 for Stimson here. Still on the lead lap, so we got 4 drivers on the lead lap. So we got 3 different teams on the lead lap. So we got Next Level Racing, we got Ignition Controls, and then we have Selby Acoustics. So Ignition Controls are going to seal the deal for P3 in the team's championship. Very good performance from Ghost and Stu to be able to maximise their points haul. And I think they'll come out with the most points for the team's championship this time around as well. So it's been a very good round for Ignition Controls. As you see Stozzer in the background there for Gamesman Racing Team, the sole driver tonight for those guys. Just trying to circulate enough laps to get some points. He's currently sitting in P12. So we're currently on lap 50 of 51. And we'll hop on board with Slambo once he enters his final lap. So he's currently set up in Sector 3 now. It's going to be a very commanding victory from him, but he's still got one lap to play. 26.6 seconds in hand over Ghost in P2. But we still got the battle between Williams and kart number 1 starting to heat up once again. So unfortunately we might actually have to take the screen time off of Slambo here, because this battle here is really starting to heat up on the last couple of laps here. This is effectively the last lap of the race for these two guys, because they're currently a lap down and they still got Kart Dude in their grasp as well. So very deep under brakes. Can Williams hold off a charging kart number 1? But can Williams be able to catch up to the rear end of Kart Dude for next level racing? We'll wait and see as these guys start to close this final lap down. See these three guys really bumper to bumper in this 90-minute race here. He should be able to hold on if he doesn't make a mistake here, Williams. But that's kart number 1 gaining a lot of ground through the mid-sector. But it starts to even out on the corner exit because the Porsche has the better corner entry and corner exit speed over the NSX. I think Williams, he's definitely going to be able to hold off here. Right on the rear bumper now is kart number 1. But this section of the track favours the Porsche drivers here. There's a lot of twisting and turning through this section of the track. And that heats up the left-hand side tyres quite substantially as well. It's going to be a comfortable victory in favour of Slambo. He crosses the line now. Champion-elect comes across the line in P1. 5th win of the season out of 8 races. Very commanding championship from him. Across the line now, Williams is going to hold off kart number 1. So currently, Ghost is going to come home in P2. It's going to be Stimson in P3 coming out the hairpin. We've got Stu going to finish this one in P4. Kart Dude finishing in P5. Then you've got Williams in P6 for Bruce Hale Racing. P7 for Selby Acoustics, kart number 1. And P8 for Bruce Hale Racing, the Porsche of Benny. And Turbo for Selby Acoustics in P9. We've got Penguin also for Selby Acoustics in P10. AK for Next Level Racing in P11. And then Stozza for Gamesman Racing Team in P12. So we're just waiting for all the guys to cross the line now. I think AK will be the last driver to do so. And actually, it's definitely not Williams because he crossed the control line. So it will be AK who will be finishing the race here. A lot of inside curb uses from him, almost completely rotated it. Completely pinned it at turn 16. He's just going to have to limp it across the line here. But very commanding championship from Slambo. And unfortunately for Stimson, not able to get the monkey off the back. Not able to get on the top step of the podium throughout the entirety of this series. But that has been the Pagnian GT3 series hosted by RaceOnOz's. That was the finale. And Slambo, the champion-elect, came out as the race winner in the endurance round. I've been very privileged to be able to call this one for RaceOnOz's. It's been an absolute honour to be able to get this gig. So I hope you guys enjoyed the 7 installments of this series here. This is Div 1, and we're closing out the series for the final time this season. And we should see you all back in a few weeks' time for the next season for RaceOnOz's. So until now, between then, There's going to be a lot of contemplating of what's to come in the next series. So I hope to see you guys in